An example would be, you might say, well, how does curved space, can that give rise to something that looks like a force, which is gravity? So the best analogy I know of is to think of walking around on the surface of the Earth. So if you stand on the equator of the Earth and you with your friend and you say, we're going to walk due north. So we're going to set off, let's say we're 1,000 miles apart on the equator and we're going to walk due north. What's going to happen? So you walk in straight lines. You don't change direction. You don't do any accelerating. But the straight lines are the lines of longitude on the surface of the Earth. The conjecture basically was that the laws of nature will be such that you can't have stable wormholes and you can't build time machines.
And if you sent something through it, it would destabilize it.
Yeah.
And if it didn't destabilize it, how would your physical body deal with the stress of that?
So before you actually get to the singularity, you can get, it's called spaghettified. That can be if you think about something like a black hole, that can be a massive difference in gravitational pull from your head to your feet. And so it can stretch you out. And so, but you can, with wormholes, you can write the geometry down in Einstein's theory such that you could go through. So you don't have to be destroyed or anything weird happen to you.
Would you have to have something protecting you, some force, some sort of a...
No, you just literally, you fall through a few times the mass of the sun, and they're from collapsed stars. So they are stars at the end of their life, very bigger than the sun, more massive than the sun, but they run out of their fuel and they start to collapse because gravity squashes them. And if they're sufficiently massive, then there's nothing that can stop the collapse. And so they collapse, as far as we know, to a point, right? And essentially an infinitely dense point. We don't really know what happens we don't know what happens right in the middle. But they collapse to such an extent that there's a region around it from which light can't escape. And so nothing can escape. And that's a black hole.